Last night I was up late and watched a whole handful of Smallville episodes. Season 6 episodes 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So Labyrinth, where Clark is in a mental asylum and the doctor there tries to convince him that all of his superpowers are a fantasy. Crimson, where Lois has red kryptonite lipstick and oh boy, Clark had a big scene at the Luthor party, the engagement party, and all that stuff. Trespass, where Lana is being stalked by one of Lex's security officers. Freak, where there's a young man who can tell people who are infected with meteor rocks. He thinks that Clark is perfectly normal because Clark is obviously not infected by meteor rocks. However, we find out that Chloe has a superpower, which took me totally by surprise and I thought was a great addition to the story because it did make a lot of sense because she's been around meteors for so long and it's just cool that like she knows it without knowing what her powers are. So that's just really cool. And then Promise, which is where Lana and Lex actually tie the knot. And Lana finds out about Clark, which was really cool. Not all about Clark, but she learns that he has superpowers and she sees him use them. And she plans to break off the wedding. Last night, I wasn't thinking this at the time because I was just really tired and out of it and wanting to go to sleep. But after waking up this morning, the thing that I can most think of is... that's a very annullable marriage because she just said yes because of Lionel putting pressure on her. I really enjoyed most of these episodes. They were really good. Labyrinth was very enjoyable. Crimson was even more so. I loved all that they did with Crimson. I don't know. I really enjoyed. It was interesting because Lois, I thought she was just going to go, super sexy on Clark, and she did to some extent, but she was actually, puppy dog in love with him like a teenager, and there was just, layers to it that I found very believable. She wasn't totally blind to any of his faults. She was actually hurt by them, which I thought was an interesting, so it wasn't just pure infatuation, it was, really awakening something real in her, and the mixtape was just it was perfect. But then when his mom was talking to Clark afterward about it, and when he comes out of it and he realizes what he's done and he's just feeling terrible, obviously, because he tried to kill Lex and he kidnapped Lana, and there were just a lot of problems with what he did. He hurt Chloe and Lois and just tons of people. But when his mom confronted him and said, that really woke him up and said, those feelings are real. They just took away your inhibitions. You actually are dealing with all of these things. And he realizes that he's been keeping Chloe in his back pocket. He wants to kiss Lois and he's still in love with Lana, and that he has all of these things that have been boiling underneath the surface that he finally has to confront, that they're all real. And that was very refreshing. I was nodding as his mom was saying things yes, that is true. And then Labyrinth was just, it was very fun, as I said. Freak was, the overall episode, I wasn't, as invested the whole time, but I was very, I really just loved that reveal about Chloe. It was very believable. And I'm trying to figure out if I talked about the one where Jimmy breaks up with Chloe. Yes, that's Trespass. Okay, so the one where Lana receives photographs of her and everything from the security guard. It was very interesting. I mean, she was just so close to figuring out Clark's secret and just proving that, she's dedicated to finding out, but she's not dedicated to destroying him. She just simply wants to know the truth. Which Clark has owed her for a while. So it was, in that way, it was actually refreshing. And Jimmy breaking up with Chloe, Jimmy's growing on me. Not Jimmy and Chloe per se, but Jimmy as a character is growing on me. And I don't know, I can kind of see better where they're trying to take his character, I guess. But it doesn't really change any of the things I had said before. It's simply, they are just simply doing a good job of developing him. So I still do think he's a little bit too immature and intellectually naive for Chloe, but as a character I am enjoying him quite a bit. He's funny. I guess. So then finally I'll just get down to Promise, because that's kind of the big one, but I don't have too much to say about it other than Lex is fully evil now. He's turned the corner. He is willing to commit murder. We've seen that for a while. It's like he was that way for a while. It's just that now he's actually done it. He's committed cold-blooded murder, and he did it the day of his wedding, and yet he still thinks that it's okay for him to marry this girl. Like, he's just so delusional about where he is in life. So that's just kind of there. Lionel has proven once again that he is evil and will do anything. He threatened Clark's life to Lana, which is just all the groundwork he's done to try and convince Clark and Martha that he's a good person, and has started to convince all of us. I don't know if he would kill Clark or not if it came down to it, but he certainly is still evil enough to threaten Lana that he will do that. We don't know what the secret is about the baby still. I don't know. We'll see. I have watched ahead this morning, but I'm not going to talk about this episode yet. But I still don't know. It's just that she has... Okay, I won't give any spoilers in case somebody's following these videos while trying to watch the episodes. Yeah, so it was overall a good set of episodes. I didn't feel the need to skip through them. It was very enjoyable. I will end there.